Before we begin, take a moment to listen. Not to my voice, not even to the silence around you, but to that small sound inside your breath. That quiet, circular rhythm of being alive. Inhale, exhale. The pulse of existence. So simple, so unremarkable, that we almost forget it's there. Now imagine that this breath is the faint echo at the entrance of a cave, a place deep within you, older than memory, a place made of thought and shadow, and the quiet hum of your mind when the world outside has gone still. Plato once told the story of people who lived in a cave, chained to its walls, seeing only the flicker of shadows. To them, the shadows were reality, the only truth they could touch. But beyond the stone and smoke, there was another world, a world of light, too bright to look at, too vast to name. And yet, what if this cave is not somewhere far away, not ancient, not abstract, but right here within the quiet architecture of your own mind? Close your eyes for a moment. Can you sense its walls? The shape of your thoughts moving, echoing softly, projected onto the surface of your awareness. These shadows are your memories, the replay of your day, the small worries that linger, the half-finished conversations that echo long after midnight. They are neither friend nor foe. They are simply the mind's way of keeping you company in the darkness. Inside this cave, you are safe. No one can see you here. No expectations, no comparisons, no noise. Only you and the endless theater of your inner world. As you breathe, the shadows move slower. The walls seem to soften. And beneath all of it, beneath thought, beneath sound, there is a quiet presence that watches. It does not judge. It does not speak. It only witnesses. This is the beginning of philosophy, not in words, not in logic, but in awareness. A gentle noticing, a small light hidden somewhere deep in the dark. You are not trying to understand. You are simply arriving in your own mind, in this cave of soft silence where even shadows can rest. Let your breath guide you. Inhale into the quiet. Exhale into surrender. You are here, you are safe, and the night has only just begun. The darkness moves softly. It ripples like water touched by memory. And on the wall before you, the first shadows begin to stir. They shift and shimmer, silhouettes of thought, faint traces of the day that has just passed. Here is a memory of sunlight on a window, and here, the echo of someone's voice, still lingering in your mind like smoke refusing to fade. Each shape trembles in the dim light, half real, half dream. Watch them dance. They move without pattern, like the thoughts that drift through you when you are too tired to think but too awake to sleep. They twist, collapse, reform. They are pieces of time, flickering between what was and what might be. You are still. You do not chase them. You do not name them. You simply observe. The shadows are your mind remembering itself. The worries that once felt heavy now move like dust in a beam of light. The moments you wanted to hold on to fade in gentle rhythm, like breath leaving your body. Notice how they change when you stop resisting, how the sharp edges of a thought become soft when seen with kindness. Even fear has texture, a trembling form that only wants to be noticed, to be held without judgment. The cave wall becomes a quiet screen, and the flickering shapes begin to slow. What was once a storm of images is now a slow, graceful movement, as if every thought has found its own way of falling asleep. Your breath is steady now. Inhale the cool air of night. Exhale the weight of the day. Each exhale draws the shadows closer to stillness. There is something beautiful about their motion, how they never quite disappear, but soften into one another. This is how the mind heals itself, by allowing what was hidden to be seen, to dance, to dissolve. The longer you watch, the more you realize that the shadows are not separate from you. They are your reflection, your silent dialogue with the world. And just as easily as they appear, they begin to fade, like the tide retreating from the shore. Now there is only dim light and the faint hum of your breathing. The walls of the cave seem wider, as if space itself is expanding to make room for calm. Let your body grow heavier. Let your thoughts drift further. You are both the watcher and the watched, the stillness and the motion. The shadows have danced their dance. And now, as silence returns, you begin to sense the first whisper of peace. The shadows have slowed now. Their motion has softened into silence. And as the light fades once more, the cave begins to breathe with you, a slow, steady rhythm, like the ocean at night. You sit there wrapped in the darkness, and something unexpected begins to happen. You feel comfort. The darkness that once seemed frightening now feels like an old blanket, heavy, familiar, warm. It asks for nothing. It hides nothing. It simply holds you the way the earth holds its seeds. There is a peace in not having to see, a rest in not having to understand. For so long, you've lived in the bright noise of daylight, where everything demands meaning, where each face, each sound, each thought requires a response. But here, in the dark, you are allowed to simply be. No questions, no mirrors, no need to perform. The cave becomes your cocoon, a sacred silence where the mind can finally exhale. You remember, perhaps unconsciously, that there is beauty in not knowing. That mystery, too, can be merciful. We humans, we make homes in our illusions. We build small worlds of familiarity, just to feel safe within the vast unknown. Even if the world we build is made of shadows, it is still ours, and sometimes that is enough. The philosopher in you might resist that thought, might whisper the truth must always be sought, but the dreamer in you knows otherwise. The dreamer understands that peace is not found in answers, but in surrender. In this darkness, there is no need to be awake to the world, only awake to your own stillness. The mind begins to loosen its grip. Thoughts unravel like gentle threads, floating quietly away. You are not escaping reality. You are resting within it, inside its softest corner, where even illusion becomes kind. Feel the walls of the cave now, their coolness, their weight. They do not imprison you, they protect you. They offer a pause from the endless brightness outside. In this pause, you remember how to breathe again, how to listen, not to what happens around you, but to what unfolds within you. The cave hums softly with life, and for the first time in a long while, you allow yourself to rest. No striving, no light to chase. Only this quiet dark, gentle, timeless, forgiving. Let the silence hold you. Let it remind you that not all darkness is emptiness. Some of it is love, waiting in disguise. You are safe in the cave, for now. Somewhere, beyond the stillness, a faint shimmer begins to move. Not loud, not sudden, just a delicate breath of light touching the edge of darkness. It does not demand your attention, it invites it. A soft curiosity rises in you. like the pull of morning on a sleeper's dream. Something within whispers, not in words, but in a quiet question. What lies beyond? You open the eyes of your mind, and for the first time, the darkness does not seem endless. Far away, there is a glow, thin as a sigh, trembling like a candle seen through mist. You cannot yet tell what it is, but you can feel it. And that feeling stirs a gentle ache, a longing to move, to reach, to understand. For so long, you have lived in the familiar dark. It has kept you safe, wrapped you in its silence. But now, some quiet part of you begins to wonder what else exists beyond the wall of shadows. Not because you are unhappy here, but because something alive is beginning to awaken. The philosopher in the story once left the cave, drawn by the light he could not name. Perhaps the same is true for you, not to escape, but to remember, to recall that you too are made of something luminous, something infinite. You take a slow breath. Inhale the cool scent of stone and stillness. Exhale the weight of long sleep. The air feels different now, as if it carries a secret you have not yet learned. Listen. Can you hear it? A distant hum, like the sound of dawn beginning to wake the earth. The light flickers again, closer this time, brighter. And though your eyes hesitate, your heart leans forward. This is how awakening begins, not in grand revelation, but in a whisper that tells you there is more to see, more to feel, more to become. You do not have to rush. The journey will unfold slowly, the way a flower opens in the cool air of morning. For now, it is enough to notice the shimmer, to feel the stirring of movement after long stillness. Let that small light rest on your mind. Let it warm you, not as a blaze, but as a promise. Something new is waiting. Beyond this cave, beyond the walls of thought, there is a greater sky, and you are being called toward it. Take one last breath here in the comfort of your darkness. When you exhale, let go gently and step into the faint light of becoming. You rise, not quickly, not suddenly, but like a thought, surfacing after long stillness. Your body remembers movement again, and the air around you feels wider, as though the cave itself has loosened its hold. There, ahead of you, the faint glow becomes a path. It wavers, soft and uncertain, yet every breath seems to draw you closer to it. You take the first step. The ground beneath your feet is cool, textured with the dust of forgotten time. Each movement feels unfamiliar, a little fragile, a little miraculous. The air changes. It grows lighter, sharper, and with it comes something unexpected. Pain. Not a wound, but the ache of newness, the strain of eyes learning to see again. Light spills in, thin as silk, then brighter. And for a moment, it's too much. It burns softly against your skin, fills the mind with brilliance that almost blinds. You close your eyes, but it's already inside you, a warm pulse blooming behind your eyelids. This is not the comfort of the dark anymore. This is life returning, wild, uncertain, alive. You breathe through it. Inhale, brightness. Exhale, resistance. The body trembles, then steadies. It takes courage to stand where shadow ends, to allow the unknown to touch you, to trust the light even when it hurts. The truth, when first met, is never gentle. It stretches the soul, asks it to expand beyond what it knew. But beneath that strain, there is something pure, a quiet joy, like a wound beginning to heal. You open your eyes again. The light is no longer blinding. It shimmers like breath, like the whisper of a new beginning. Behind you, the cave hums softly, a memory of safety. Ahead of you, the path brightens with each inhale. Take another step, and another. There is no need to rush. You are only learning how to walk in the language of light. The light does not stop. It keeps coming, pouring through the narrow mouth of the cave, spilling over the ground like a flood of gold and air. At first, it dazzles you. Then, it unsettles you. It touches everything that was once hidden, every shadow, every thought, every quiet ache you had tucked away. You blink, and the brightness becomes overwhelming. It enters your eyes, then your mind, then your chest, until it feels like your whole being is made of trembling glass. So this is what awakening feels like. Not serenity, not calm, but exposure, raw, unfiltered, unguarded. You lift your face toward the light, and it hurts, not because it means harm, but because you have not learned how to bear it yet. Every new truth, every moment of clarity, is like sunlight on tender skin. And yet, you stay. Your breath wavers. The air feels too alive. Each inhale brings not just oxygen, but awareness, thoughts swirling, colliding, refusing to settle. This, you realize, is what insomnia feels like. Not just the body unable to rest, but the soul unable to stop seeing. You lie awake not because of noise, but because the light inside your mind will not dim. It's the same with awakening. You wish for stillness, but the light keeps moving through you, showing, revealing, illuminating. Every corner of thought glows too brightly. Every idea hums with energy, and you think, perhaps this is too much. But somewhere deep inside, a small voice whispers, stay with it. Enlightenment is not peace at first. It burns. It strips away the comfort of darkness, the gentleness of not knowing. It demands honesty, and honesty at its beginning is always uncomfortable. The pain of truth is a cleansing fire. It clears the fog, melts the illusions, and leaves you trembling in your own light. But as the eyes adjust, something new begins to form. A kind of tenderness that can only exist after the burning. You sit in the glow now, your breath still uneven, but your heart feels awake. There's a strange vitality in the discomfort, a kind of quiet strength rising from it. It is the pulse of life rediscovered, the soul stretching beyond its limits. You remember how, in sleepless nights, the world feels too vivid, every thought a sharp star in the dark. And yet, within that sharpness, there is something holy, a purity of attention, a closeness to the rawness of being. That is what this light is. It is not punishment. It is initiation, the invitation to feel again, to be fully awake, to see without turning away. Breathe into the brightness. Let it move through you. Each exhale will soften its edges. Each inhale will remind you that pain, too, can be sacred. Slowly, the light steadies. Its sting becomes warmth. Its glare becomes glow. You open your eyes again, and though the world still burns with brilliance, you no longer fear it. You begin to understand that this fire is not meant to destroy, but to purify. And somewhere in that brightness, you take another step forward. Not yet at peace, but awake, fully, fiercely, alive. There is a stillness after brightness, a moment when everything glows, but nothing yet makes sense. You stand in the light now, eyes open, and the world before you seems vast and trembling as if newly born. Shapes emerge, soft outlines, undefined. The cave walls fade behind you, and the air hums with a brilliance that feels almost alive, but understanding does not come. only sight, raw, immediate, overflowing. You can see everything, and yet you know nothing. It is like waking from a dream and remembering that you dreamt, but not the meaning of what you saw. The light touches everything, your thoughts, your breath, your skin, but comprehension lags behind, still wrapped in shadow. So you breathe and let the confusion exist. Let it hum softly in your chest like the aftersound of a bell. Perhaps this is what truth really is, not a revelation, but a pause. A moment where the mind kneels before mystery and learns to stop demanding answers. The heart, too, has its own kind of vision, one that sees without understanding. It does not analyze, it feels. It touches the world gently, without the need to name it. You close your eyes again, not to return to darkness, but to see more deeply within the light. There, behind the lids, the world begins to sway. Colors melt into one another, forms dissolve. It's as if existence itself is breathing. You feel small, not in fear, but in reverence. The mind, once eager to grasp, now softens, like hands opening to let go of water. It is all right not to know. It is all right to be surrounded by something too large for language. The philosopher within you stirs, wanting to name, to reason, to make sense of what it means to see. But the voice of the soul answers softly. You do not need to understand to be awake. There is grace in bewilderment. There is peace in surrender. You breathe again, slowly. Each inhale gathers light. Each exhale releases the effort to comprehend. Awareness settles into rhythm, like waves finding their shoreline. Perhaps this is how wisdom begins, not as clarity, but as the humility to accept that clarity may never come. You feel the warmth of the light now, gentler, calmer, no longer sharp. It no longer burns, it glows. It caresses instead of blinding. You sense that the world around you has always been here, waiting for your eyes to soften enough to see. The unknown does not vanish, it deepens. And strangely, that brings comfort. For mystery is not emptiness, it is space, the living breath between things. So rest here, in the quiet, not knowing. Let the light shimmer without demand. Let the questions remain questions. The path ahead is bright, but the traveler must walk slowly, carrying only awareness, not certainty. Breathe once more. Feel the weight of your body, the tremor of being alive in a world that no longer needs to be understood to be beautiful. You have seen. That is enough. For now. Breathe. Slowly. Softly. Let the air move through you, a thread connecting what was dark to what is now light. The brightness around you has settled. It no longer blinds. It glows, like dawn resting on water. And within that soft radiance, you begin to notice something deeper, the rhythm beneath it all. Inhale, a quiet expansion. Exhale, a gentle return. Each breath becomes a bridge between shadow and illumination, between the known and the mysterious, between effort and surrender. You start to realize that the light and the darkness were never enemies. They are lovers, forever meeting and parting in the space of your breath. When you inhale, you draw the world in, its warmth, its questions, its radiance. When you exhale, you release it, allowing it to flow back into silence. This is the eternal rhythm, receiving and letting go. The body understands what the mind forgets, that balance is born not from control, but from motion. The breath does not cling to air, and yet it never truly loses it. It dances between having and releasing, between light and dark. The philosopher seeks truth in ideas. The sleeper finds truth in stillness. But the breath knows both. It belongs to neither day nor night. It belongs to the space between. You close your eyes. Inside, the glow of light mingles with the memory of shadow. It is no longer about escape, not leaving the cave, not chasing the sun, but learning how both coexist within you. Each inhale carries a trace of night. Each exhale carries a glimmer of dawn. And between them, a moment of pause, the silence of perfect balance. This pause is not emptiness. It is the soul remembering itself, the brief instant where you are not breathing in, not breathing out, only being. Stay there for a heartbeat. Feel the world rest with you. In that stillness, everything is complete. Your chest rises and falls. Your awareness expands and softens. The light inside no longer burns. It hums, a steady, living warmth. Perhaps awakening was never meant to be a climb. Perhaps it was always this, the art of breathing with the world, allowing light and darkness to weave together in peace. You breathe again, and the boundaries begin to fade. The air, the light, the silence, they all flow through you without resistance. In this rhythm, you find your center. The ascent slows, the striving quiets. There is nothing left to reach for, only to rest within. As you exhale once more, the last trace of tension leaves your body. The air around you feels wider, filled with the calm after revelation. Ahead lies the open sky, the realm of the sun, but you no longer rush toward it. You move as breath moves, slow, gentle, effortless. Let the light guide you forward now, not as fire, but as peace. The breath is your bridge, and you are already crossing. You step into the open air. For a moment, everything disappears. The cave, the shadows, even the weight of your body. There is only light. It pours over you like a tide made of gold, and the world unfolds in brilliance too wide to measure. The sky stretches endlessly, a silent cathedral of blue and breath. The wind brushes your skin as though the universe itself were touching you. You try to look, but the light is overwhelming. It fills every space, invades every corner of sight. It is not cruel, but it is vast, too vast for understanding. So you close your eyes, and even then the brightness remains. It pulses behind your lids, softly alive, a silent rhythm echoing the beat of your heart. This is beauty, at its most unbearable, the kind that strips you bare, leaving no distance between you and what is. For the first time, you feel what truth might mean. Not an idea, not an answer, but a presence, pure and absolute, as immediate as sunlight warming the skin. It asks nothing from you, it simply is. And in its presence you feel both infinite and impossibly small. Your breath trembles. You are moved without knowing why, as if the soul, long silent, has suddenly remembered its first language. The light does not speak in words. It speaks in sensation, in warmth, in radiance, in the gentle ache of being alive. You realize that beauty is not gentle. It overwhelms, it dismantles, it burns away all that pretends to be separate. And yet, you cannot turn away. The philosopher in you tries to name it. Truth, goodness, the form of the good. But words dissolve before they reach your tongue. There is no language for this. Only awe. Only the hush of wonder that expands with every breath. You begin to see not with your eyes, but with something deeper, a vision that belongs to the heart. The world glows from within, as if every leaf, every stone, every flicker of air is made of light, remembering itself. You are standing at the threshold of knowing and dissolving. Everything is clear, and yet too bright to comprehend. So you stop trying. You surrender. The sun does not blind you now. It baptizes you in radiance, in truth, in unbearable beauty. And for a fleeting, infinite moment, you are light itself. You stand in the brilliance, and slowly, it begins to shape itself into meaning. The light is no longer just light, it is knowing. Not the kind that can be spoken or taught, but the kind that awakens like dawn inside the heart. Plato once wrote that beyond all things, beyond truth, beyond beauty, beyond even reason, there exists the form of the good. It is the source from which everything real receives its being, the silent sun of all understanding. Not a god in the sky, but a principle of light, the illumination that allows the soul to see. As you breathe, you begin to understand what he meant. This light around you is not separate. It does not shine at you. It shines through you. The world glows because your mind is open to it. The trees, the air, the warmth, they are not outside. They are the reflections of something vast within you. You close your eyes, and still, the radiance remains. It hums in the space behind thought, a soft resonance that feels like remembering. This is what awakening truly is. Not an escape from the world, but the recognition that the world and the self are made of the same light. In the rhythm of your breath, you feel the echo of that truth. Each inhale draws in a universe. Each exhale releases it again, as if creation itself is breathing with you. Perhaps the form of the good was never meant to be found, only felt, in the simple, living pulse of awareness. It is the quiet understanding that there is nothing outside of light, and therefore nothing to fear. You think of the world you left behind, the noise, the rush, the endless mirrors of screens and expectations. How strange it is that so much searching happens in places where no one stops to see the sun. The philosopher's cave was never ancient. It lives inside every moment we forget to look up, to breathe, to feel. But standing here now, you sense what it means to awaken in a modern world, not to flee from it, but to let it glow again through presence. Even in the city's hum, even in exhaustion, you can remember this light. It does not belong to temples or to time. It belongs to you, to the self that watches, that breathes, that quietly knows. The outer sun and the inner one are not two different fires. They are the same flame, meeting in the mirror of your awareness. And when you see that, the whole world begins to shine. There comes a quiet after the revelation. Not silence exactly, but a soft, human weariness that hums beneath the light. You have seen too much, too quickly. The world now glows with clarity, but your eyes, your mind, your heart, they begin to ache. Not from darkness this time, but from brilliance. The air feels heavier, thick with understanding. Every leaf, every thought, every sound carries meaning. And meaning, when endless, becomes a kind of weight. You realize that even truth can be overwhelming. To see deeply is also to feel deeply. To know beauty is to sense its fragility. To witness the eternal is to remember how brief you are. Knowledge, like light, illuminates everything, but it also exposes every corner of the soul. It leaves nowhere to hide, and sometimes that exposure is simply too much. You take a slow breath and notice the tiredness resting in your bones. The philosopher within you has climbed far, but the climb has cost something. The body whispers for stillness, the mind for quiet. Perhaps this too is part of enlightenment, to know when to rest, to understand that wisdom is not found only in thought, but also in pause. Even the enlightened need to rest. The light does not disappear when you close your eyes. It softens, folds inward, becoming a gentle glow behind your breath. You realize it was never meant to dazzle you forever, only to remind you that you can return to it whenever you forget. You sit, or perhaps you lie down. The ground beneath you feels alive, warm with sunlight. You can almost hear the hum of the earth, steady, forgiving, ancient. You let your body lean into it. The mind begins to loosen, thoughts unwinding like ribbons in the wind. Understanding drifts toward acceptance, and acceptance toward peace. The sun above remains brilliant, but now it feels gentle, a quiet companion, not a challenge. It does not demand your attention. It simply exists, the way love does when it no longer needs to prove itself. You begin to sense a truth beyond all ideas, that knowing everything is not the goal, but knowing when to stop seeking. The light within you flickers, not as fire, but as ember, soft, steady, alive. You exhale. The air tastes of warmth and distance, and for the first time since awakening, you allow yourself to rest, not in darkness, but in the quiet heart of the sun. There comes a time when the eyes must rest, not because the light has faded, but because the heart has seen enough for now. You have walked through brightness, bathed in it, breathed it, carried it within your chest like a quiet sun. And now, the body calls you home. Close your eyes, gently. Let the world dissolve behind your lids. You are not leaving it. You are simply letting it rest inside you. The light remains, but it no longer demands to be seen. It hums beneath your skin, a slow golden rhythm pulsing in the dark. You can feel it moving with your breath, inhaling, exhaling, as if the universe itself has curled up inside your lungs. In the distance, the day continues to shine. But here, within this quiet shelter of the body, a different kind of knowing begins. Not the knowing of thought, but the knowing of presence, the wisdom that comes from stillness. You start to sense the body again, the weight of it, the softness of it, the way the ground receives you without question. Your shoulders, the rhythm of your pulse, the delicate warmth at the center of your chest. Let yourself sink into it. Let the mind drift lower, from thought to breath, from light to sensation. Awakening does not mean you must stay awake forever. It means you have learned to see, and now you have earned the right to rest. Even the sun sets, and the world does not grieve. It trusts that light will return. So too can you. You may close your eyes without fear of forgetting. The truth does not vanish in sleep. It becomes dream. It becomes warmth. It becomes the gentle glow that cradles you in the dark. Breathe. Inhale, soft light, calm and tender. Exhale, release. Each breath draws you deeper into your own stillness, into that quiet rhythm where body and soul finally move as one. There is nothing left to learn right now. No more seeking, no more effort. Only the gentle act of being, of trusting the dark once more, but this time with the light safely burning inside you. The sun does not fade, it rests behind your eyelids, waiting. And as you drift into its warmth, you understand something simple and beautiful. To close the eyes is not to lose sight. It is to see differently, to see with the heart. And in that soft vision, you begin to fall. Not downward, but inward, toward quiet, toward sleep. There is wind again, soft, unhurried, weaving through the quiet of your mind. It moves like breath made visible, a whisper passing over still water. You are not thinking now. Not really. Your thoughts have grown lighter, looser around the edges, as if they have forgotten the weight of meaning. They drift, each one a small leaf caught in a current of air. You watch them float past, a memory, a sound, a half-formed image of something once important. All of it moving gently away, carried by a wind that asks for nothing. The air has a rhythm to it. Like a lullaby, the earth has been singing forever. It is not music exactly, but it hums in your bones, a slow, endless sway. Inhale. The wind gathers around you, cool and clear. Exhale. It drifts through you, taking with it the dust of thought, the quiet residue of the day. Your mind begins to open, not outward but sideways, into that soft space between worlds. Here, words lose their edges, time loosens its hands. You are neither fully awake nor fully asleep, but somewhere tenderly in between. The philosopher in you rests now. No need to explain, no need to hold on. There is wisdom in surrender, in letting thought dissolve into the gentle motion of air. You imagine your thoughts as leaves, some green, some golden, some old and curled at the edges. They rise with each breath you take and scatter with each breath you give. None of them are lost. They simply travel, finding new places to settle. The wind becomes a companion, a presence that moves without a body. It brushes past your skin, cool and invisible, and yet profoundly alive. It carries the scent of distance, the whisper of places beyond knowing. Perhaps this is what dreams are made of, not images or stories, but movements of air, the soul remembering how to flow. You feel yourself swaying slightly, like a branch in a gentle breeze. The body breathes, the mind floats, the heart listens. There is no need to follow the thoughts anymore. They know where to go. They will find their way back to silence. Let them drift. Let them fall. Each one a leaf returning to the earth. Each one a part of you that no longer needs to be held. The wind sighs again, soft, endless, kind. And in its song, you begin to drift too, lighter and lighter, carried by the quiet between waking and dream. Somewhere between waking and sleep, you find yourself wondering again. Not the sharp, restless wondering of daylight, but the slow, spiraling curiosity of a dreamer who drifts through thought like mist. The wind has quieted now. In its place, a deep, luminous silence, the kind of silence that listens back. You remember Plato's story, the one about shadows and sunlight, truth and illusion. But here, in this in-between world, the cave feels different, not as a prison, but as a memory of perspective. Perhaps the shadows and the light were never opposites, only reflections of the same dream. Plato imagined that once freed from illusion, the soul turns toward the light, toward reality itself. But what if, upon reaching that light, the soul discovers another layer, a dream within a dream? You think of Descartes, too, how he sat beside his fire, doubting everything that could be doubted, asking himself how he could ever be sure that this world, this body, this very breath, was not a dream. Are we dreaming the world, he might have whispered, or is the world dreaming us? The question moves through you like a feather brushed by air. You do not need to answer. You only need to feel the gentle uncertainty of it, that shimmering balance between presence and illusion. What if the philosopher's search for truth was never meant to end in certainty, but to lead us here, to this tender space where everything is both real and unreal, and both are beautiful? You look around. The edges of the world blur. The light bends softly, folding over itself like silk. It is as if reality has grown tired of holding its own shape. Your breath moves, and the air moves with it. You are not separate from what you see. You are part of the dreaming. Perhaps you always were. In the distance, you glimpse the faint outlines of the cave, the golden shimmer of the sun, and the quiet silhouette of a thinker asleep beside his candle. Plato, Descartes. Maybe they are still here, not as men, but as thoughts dreaming themselves into form. The mind hums softly, as if the universe itself is thinking through you. There is no boundary anymore, not between you and the philosophers, not between dream and daylight, not between knowing and wonder. The wind returns, carrying the scent of something familiar, perhaps memory, perhaps imagination. It curls around you, warm and endless, and you begin to feel how vast the dream truly is. Each breath becomes a question, each exhale a surrender. And in that rhythm, something delicate awakens, a peace that no longer needs to decide what is real and what is not. Maybe truth isn't a destination, but a movement, the gentle pulse between vision and sleep, between idea and silence. The world breathes through you. You breathe through the world. And as the air grows softer, as your body becomes weightless again, you hear the faintest whisper, like a voice from somewhere far beyond thought. Are we dreaming the world, or is the world dreaming us? You smile, because perhaps, in the end, there is no difference at all. You are drifting now, not awake, not asleep, just floating in that quiet middle ground where thought loosens its grip, and the body forgets to hold its weight. Here, time no longer measures itself. It stretches and folds, a slow tide moving through your awareness. You feel both inside yourself and far beyond yourself, as if existence has widened just enough to make room for everything. The philosophers have gone quiet. Their words, once heavy with meaning, now dissolve into murmurs of air. There is no need for ideas here, only sensation, only the hum of being. You are resting in the space where knowledge begins to blur into feeling, where understanding is no longer something you chase, but something that breathes with you. Inhale, clarity. Exhale, surrender. Each breath bridges the two worlds. The mind still flickers sometimes, sending out small sparks of thought, a question, a memory, the faint image of sunlight on stone. But these flashes fade quickly, like lanterns drifting out to sea. You do not follow them. You simply watch, content to hover in the space between. There is a tenderness in uncertainty, a softness that only arrives when the will to know has fallen asleep. It is not ignorance, but peace. The calm that comes when you no longer demand the world to reveal itself all at once. In this half-dream, you begin to notice how vast quiet truly is. It has texture, like silk brushed by the wind, like sound slowed into stillness. You can almost touch it with your breathing, And though you are not fully awake, you are not lost either. Awareness remains, light and effortless, a small flame swaying gently in the dark. Perhaps this is the truest kind of wisdom, to float between knowing and resting, without fear of falling either way, to let life move through you without the need to hold it still. You begin to sense the rhythm of everything, the way thought rises and falls, the way the body hums, the way sleep approaches not as a curtain, but as a tide. There is no border anymore, only movement, only breath, only the gentle blending of seeing and surrender. The wind hums softly around you, carrying the scent of rest. It brushes against your face, reminding you that you are still here, alive, breathing, safe inside the slow pulse of night. Somewhere beneath all thought, the body begins to trust again. Muscles loosen, the heart steadies, the mind sighs. You are no longer trying to stay awake. You are no longer trying to fall asleep. You are simply being, suspended between the two, cradled by the gentle weight of not needing to choose. In this delicate balance, everything feels whole. The knowing, the resting, the space between. Breathe, float. Let the world hold you as softly as wind holds a drifting leaf. The wind fades, the movement slows, and the world begins to quiet, as if every sound has gently bowed its head to something greater. You can hear it, the hush beneath everything. Not absence, but presence so complete it no longer needs to speak. Silence. It stretches out before you like a vast horizon, soft and luminous, alive in its own stillness. You feel it around you, within you, a subtle vibration that hums deeper than sound. This is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence of knowing, a language without words, a truth that has no need for explanation. Plato sought the light of reason. Descartes sought the certainty of thought. But here, in the space beyond both, you discover something older. The wisdom that arrives when even thought has fallen asleep. The mind, at last, has grown quiet. It no longer asks, no longer compares, no longer divides the world into names and meanings. It simply rests, open, listening. And in that listening, you begin to understand. Understanding itself is not noise. It is silence. The universe speaks in this way. Not through thunder or revelation, but through the spaces between, through the breath you take, through the heartbeat you almost forget to hear, through the pauses between your thoughts where peace begins to bloom. You inhale. The air is still, but it feels full. Exhale. The stillness deepens. You are no longer observing silence. You are becoming it. Each breath smooths the mind's surface, like wind calming water until the reflection becomes perfect. And in that reflection you see everything, the cave, the sun, the philosophers, the journey, the self, all dissolving back into quiet. There are no distinctions now, no light or shadow, no waking or dreaming, only stillness, only peace. Perhaps this is what truth sounds like when it stops trying to be understood. Not an answer, but a presence, soft, infinite, tender. You can feel it now, the whole universe breathing in silence, a single pulse shared by all things. You rest within that rhythm. The body feels lighter, the mind transparent, the soul weightless. Nothing more must be said. Nothing more must be sought. The last whisper fades, and all that remains is the sound of your breath. Quiet, steady, eternal. Silence has spoken. The light softens, its edges blur, and what once blazed with revelation now hums quietly like a fading song. You have walked far through radiance, through thought, through dream, through awakening, and now the journey bends inward again. Not downward, not backward, but homeward. The brilliance above begins to dim. It does not vanish. It simply folds itself into gentleness, as though the sun were learning how to sleep. The air cools. The world grows still. And in that stillness, you sense the pull of the cave once more, the place you first began. But something is different now. The darkness that once seemed heavy now feels familiar, almost tender. You take a step toward it, then another. The golden light fades behind you, leaving traces on your skin, a quiet glow that refuses to disappear. The cave receives you without sound. Its walls are smooth, its air calm. There is no fear this time, no trembling, no rush to escape, only the quiet rhythm of return. You breathe, and the darkness breathes with you. It no longer hides anything. It simply holds space. You realize that shadow was never absence, only the other half of light. Close your eyes, if they are not already closed. Notice how peaceful it feels to no longer need to look, to no longer need to seek. You have seen enough, and in seeing, you have learned that even blindness can be sacred. The cave hums softly around you, a low, endless note of belonging. You rest your hand on the cool stone beside you and feel the pulse of the earth beneath it, steady, ancient, patient. This is where you began, and this is where you return. Not as a prisoner, but as a guest. Not as one trapped in illusion, but as one who understands its kindness. The shadows move faintly across the walls again. They do not frighten you. They dance like old friends greeting your arrival. You smile at them, at the simplicity of what once felt impossible. The cave, the light, the journey, they were never separate. They were all part of the same breath, inhaling and exhaling through you. Now, in the dim quiet, you settle into yourself once more. No seeking, no striving, only being. The darkness is no longer the end. It is the cradle. It is home. And as you breathe, you feel the soft warmth of your inner light mingling with the cool air of night. They rest together, peacefully, as if they had always belonged. You are home again, and you are not afraid. The cave is quiet again, but it no longer feels empty. The air hums with a low, comforting warmth, and the walls shimmer faintly with the memory of the sun. You sit within that glow, and the shadows begin to move, not sharply, not in fear, but like slow ripples of breath against stone. They stretch and curl, not as intruders, but as gentle shapes returning to their place. You watch them without resistance. There is no need to defend yourself anymore. These shadows are no longer ghosts of confusion. They are pieces of you, forgotten, but never gone. They flicker softly like candlelight remembering a song. And as you look closer, you begin to see faces within them, memories, mistakes, the outlines of all you once tried to hide. But now they do not frighten you. They look almost tender, like old friends seen after years apart. You understand something new, that fear was never born from darkness, but from your distance from it. The moment you turned toward the shadow, it turned toward you, open, patient, waiting. Even darkness can be kind. You reach out, and your hand passes through the soft blur of one. It is cool, but not cold. It feels like water, like breath. You realize the shadow is not trying to take from you. It is trying to return what was left behind. All that you feared, your doubts, your flaws, your longing, they were not chains, only shapes asking to be seen. The cave feels larger now. The walls pulse faintly with quiet life. The darkness has texture, a velvety calm that seems to hold your heartbeat in its hands. You breathe. The shadows breathe with you. Their movements align with your rhythm, a slow dance of presence and forgiveness. Perhaps this is what healing truly is, not light conquering dark, but both learning to exist side by side, not victory, but reunion. You lean back against the stone, and the stone feels warm, as if it remembers you. You close your eyes, and for the first time, you rest completely within your own shade. The darkness sways gently around you. You can almost hear it whisper, a soft lullaby made of silence and care. You are no longer trying to escape it. You are no longer trying to become light. You are simply resting in the middle of both. The shadows linger beside you, quiet companions at the edge of thought. They do not need to vanish. They have found their peace too. You smile in the dimness, feeling the cave breathe as you do. The dark hums like a heartbeat. Even darkness can be kind. The shadows have settled. The cave has grown utterly still, and within that stillness, a new kind of light begins to bloom, not from the world, but from you. It starts quietly, a faint warmth beneath your ribs, glowing in rhythm with your breath. Each inhale fans it gently, each exhale softens its glow. It is not bright, not radiant like the sun, but steady, a calm, inward flame. This is the light you carried back, not the blinding truth of the heavens, but the quiet knowing that never leaves. It hums through the body, a wordless reminder that illumination was never out there. It was always here, resting beneath the surface of thought. You lie down. The ground beneath you feels warm, as if the earth itself were exhaling. You close your eyes and see the same light shimmering behind the lids, gentle, golden, alive. There is no longer a boundary between seeing and resting, between waking and dreaming. You are both the witness and the sleeper, the candle and the night. Inhale, awareness. Exhale, peace. The two are no longer different. The cave, once made of stone, feels softer now, as if carved from air and memory. The darkness wraps around you like silk, and the light within you glows through it. Not to dispel it, but to make it beautiful. This is what it means to sleep awake, to rest inside consciousness, to dream without leaving yourself. The body releases, the thoughts dissolve, but something in you stays luminous, breathing gently in the quiet. You can feel it, the pulse beneath the ribs, the warmth gathering behind the heart, the faint shimmer of calm expanding outward. It is not a thought, it is being itself. Even the shadows rest now. They lie beside you, folded into the stillness, content to share the same breath. You realize there is nothing left to fix, nothing to reach, nothing to become. You are already what you sought. The mind sighs, the light deepens. It fills every corner of your inner sky, soft as dawn, clear as love. And as you drift toward sleep, you understand something simple and infinite. Enlightenment is not a flame that consumes. It is the glow that stays after the burning ends. You turn within that glow, resting in its warmth, carried by its tenderness. There is no outside anymore, no distance between you and peace. You are the cave, the darkness, the light. And in that unity, you fall, not into forgetfulness, but into a perfect, luminous rest. The air is calm again. Your breath moves in quiet rhythm, each inhale a small beginning, each exhale a gentle farewell. You lie within the stillness of the cave, surrounded by its soft darkness, the warmth of your inner light glowing faintly through. Everything has slowed, thought, time, meaning, until only presence remains. And in that stillness, gratitude begins to rise. Not loud, not forced, but like water from a deep spring. You think of the cave, the walls that once enclosed you, the shadows that once frightened you, how they shaped your longing, how they sheltered your silence. You see now that the cave was never a prison, but a teacher, a quiet place that waited for you to see it differently. You whisper softly, "Thank you. Thank you to the darkness for holding me when I was lost, for being patient with my fear, for showing me that even in the absence of light, I was never alone. Thank you to the shadows for teaching me the shape of my own heart, for revealing that what I feared most was only the unrecognized part of myself, asking to be seen. Thank you to the light for burning, for awakening, for dazzling me into humility, for teaching me that truth is not a possession, but a pulse, alive only when I am open enough to feel it. And thank you to the journey itself, for leading me through fire and quiet, through thought and unknowing, through the winding path that always somehow circles back to here. Your breath deepens. You feel the earth beneath you, the slow strength of it, the way it holds you without question. The darkness presses close now, but it is no longer something to escape. It is a cradle, a womb, a belonging. You sense that the cave and the sun, the light and the shadow, the knowing and the rest were never different at all. They were the same song, sung in different tones. You let that realization wash through you. It feels like peace. It feels like coming home. The cave sighs softly around you, a low, ancient sound, as if the earth itself is whispering back, "Thank you, too." You smile into the dark. Your body is weightless, your mind clear, your heart full. For a long moment, you simply breathe in gratitude to the journey, to the silence, to the light that sleeps now within you. The night is whole again, the circle complete. And as you drift toward deeper rest, you carry one simple knowing. Every ending is only another way of returning home. There is no more journey now, only watching, only the quiet rhythm of breath moving through an endless night. The body rests, the thoughts drift like faint clouds across a still sky. And behind them, something vast, something untouched. You begin to sense it, the awareness that does not sleep, the gentle watcher who has been with you all along. It does not speak, it does not judge, it simply sees. When a thought appears, it watches. When emotion rises, it watches. When silence spreads, it watches still. This is not the mind. This is not the dreamer. It is the space within which both arise and fade. You are the silence behind your thoughts. Let that truth settle inside you like light sinking into water. You are not the ripples. You are the depth that holds them. The watcher has no name, no age, no history. It does not move, yet everything moves within it. It is the part of you that has never been confused, never been afraid, never been lost. You can feel it now, that still center behind the breath, a quiet awareness that remains even as the world changes form, even as dreams unfold, even as sleep deepens. This watcher does not seek to control. It simply allows. It lets each moment arrive, bloom, and disappear. It knows that nothing is ever truly separate. There is peace in this witnessing, a peace that does not need comfort, because it is comfort itself. It does not resist the dark, it embraces it. It does not chase the light, it reflects it. The philosopher of the night does not speak in words. It speaks in stillness, in patience, in the simple act of being aware. You too are that philosopher now. The quiet intelligence that observes all things without needing to hold them. The wind passes. A thought flickers. A memory breathes and fades. And through it all, the watcher remains, steady, silent, kind. You are not what comes and goes. You are the space that allows it all to be. The night expands around you, soft and infinite. And in its depth, you rest as awareness itself, calm, awake, the gentle watcher of the world. Sleep comes not as an ending, but as a return. Not a shutting down, but a gentle falling back into what has always held you. You begin to drift again, not away from awareness, but deeper into it, as though the very act of letting go were the highest form of understanding. The gentle watcher still lingers, quiet behind the closing eyes, observing even the surrender. It does not interfere. It only smiles as if to say, "Now you see. Now you can rest." Sleep is not ignorance. It is the wisdom of nature itself, the rhythm that reminds all things how to return to balance. It is the breath of the earth moving through your own. It is the body's way of bowing to the mystery it cannot name. You float between breaths, between one thought fading and the next, not yet born. The world becomes fluid, melting softly into color, into warmth, into soundless vibration. You are not losing consciousness. You are dissolving into it. You are becoming the very field that thought arises from. There is no need to resist. There is nothing to hold. You are being carried by silence, by darkness, by the rhythm of something greater. Even philosophers, for all their questions and words, must one day surrender to this. Sleep is the truest teacher, the quiet master of humility. For in it, the thinker becomes thoughtless, and yet truth remains. Descartes sought certainty, Plato sought light, but perhaps wisdom lies not in seeking, but in sleeping with awareness, in trusting the current that carries all minds home. You feel yourself drifting now, not downward, but inward. The borders of the self soften and fade. The idea of you begins to blur like ink in water, and within that blurring, there is peace. Because what dissolves was never truly separate. It was only light pretending to be form. The heart slows. The breath deepens. Each inhale stretches wider than the body. Each exhale folds you deeper into the quiet cradle of the night. Sleep is not forgetting. It is remembering, remembering that you belong to something vast and gentle. That awareness does not end when the eyes close. It expands, becoming dream, becoming silence, becoming the hum of existence itself. You are drifting now, suspended between stars and skin. No longer observing, no longer dividing, just being. And in that being, there is wisdom, ancient, wordless, as soft as the night. The cave, the sun, the shadows, the thoughts, the breath, all of it folds into one movement, the slow, eternal act of rest. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to the vast intelligence that dreams through you. Let yourself drift. Let yourself dissolve. For in this surrender, you are not losing yourself. You are remembering what you've always been. Listen closely now. The night itself is breathing. At first, it is faint, a soft inhale hidden in the folds of silence, a sigh that drifts through stars and skin alike. But as you listen, you realize it has always been there, the universe drawing breath again and again through you. Inhale. A tide of darkness rises. It fills the sky, the cave, the body. Exhale. The stars scatter gently outward, like embers released from the heart of being. You begin to sense that your own breath is not yours alone. It is the rhythm of the cosmos, moving through every atom, every life, every sleeping thought. The boundary between you and everything fades like mist. The air enters you as if it were coming home. It carries the weight of mountains, the whisper of oceans, the quiet pulse of galaxies folding in and unfolding out. You are breathing with the universe, and the universe is breathing you. The rise and fall of the chest mirrors the rise and fall of suns. Each inhale births a world. Each exhale lets it go. Creation and dissolution woven into the same rhythm. You feel it in your veins, in the spaces between thoughts, in the silence behind your heartbeat. The breath has no beginning, no end. It is the bridge between self and eternity. You are no longer the thinker, no longer even the dreamer. Only the breathing, only the flow, only the pulse of something that was here before time began. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, return. The universe moves gently through your lungs, a tide too vast for understanding, too tender for words. And in that movement, you have never been separate. You were never apart from the stars or the silence that cradles them. You are the pause between breaths, the stillness within motion, the soft hum of infinity at rest. The philosopher has dissolved into the night. The breath continues, the universe continues, and everything breathes as one. The breath has slowed. The thoughts have thinned to pale wisps of light floating at the edges of awareness. You are still here, but softer now, less bound by form, less heavy with thought. Everything moves in longer rhythms. The heartbeat drifts like a tide. The air hums, low and warm. Time itself feels drowsy, its edges blurring like ink in water. The universe continues to breathe through you, but even that breath has become almost imperceptible, a whisper within a whisper. You are not trying to stay awake anymore. The watcher, the dreamer, the philosopher, they all rest now, their voices quiet, their questions folded gently into silence. There is only being, only this. The tender hum of existence fading into stillness. The light inside you glows faintly, not as a flame, but as an ember. Steady, unwavering, radiating warmth without effort. It asks for nothing. It simply remains. Around you, the night deepens. Not darker, but wider. Every sound softens. Every thought lengthens into the hush of forever. You can almost hear the stars breathing, slow, content, as if they too are falling asleep. Inhale, a gentle shimmer of presence. Exhale, a sigh that carries you deeper into quiet. The body loosens further, each muscle surrendering to gravity, each heartbeat slowing until it becomes a calm, distant drum. You are no longer falling. You are floating, suspended in softness, held by something invisible and kind. The philosopher of the night has turned into silence itself. Every word, every thought fades like ripples disappearing on water. There is nothing left to say, nothing left to seek. Only this long, slow fading, not an ending, but a merging. Not darkness consuming light, but light learning to rest. The breath grows shallower, the mind quieter still. And somewhere between one inhale and the next, you feel it, the threshold. the gentle invitation to let go completely. You drift toward it, unafraid, guided by the same rhythm that once drew you from shadow to sun. Now it draws you inward again, into the last quiet, into the softest peace. Everything slows, everything fades, and in the silence that remains, you are infinite. The darkness has turned to velvet. It no longer feels empty but full, as if every breath carries galaxies inside it. You are lying within stillness, and yet it feels as though the whole sky is breathing through you. The boundaries of your body have softened completely, becoming the horizon itself. Somewhere deep inside, a faint shimmer stirs. Tiny sparks, delicate, silent, like starlight flickering beneath your ribs. You do not imagine them. You remember them. They have always been there, waiting beneath thought, beneath the noise of waking life. You are not just beneath the stars now. You are the stars. Each inhale gathers constellations, each exhale releases them into the quiet sky within your chest. You begin to see it clearly, the body as a galaxy, the breath as its orbit, the heart as a radiant sun pulsing in the center of vastness. Sleep does not take you away from the universe, it draws you deeper into it. The deeper you fall, the wider you become. Every cell hums softly with light. Every memory, every dream spins gently in your inner cosmos. You have carried the night inside you all along. Every thought, every feeling was a planet turning in its rhythm. Every silence was space. Every sigh was the wind of creation. Now, as you rest, the stars within you begin to align, not as patterns to be understood, but as music to be felt. The constellations breathe together, a harmony too vast for words. You are not the observer anymore. You are the sky itself. The philosopher has dissolved into stardust. The dreamer has become the dream. Breathe softly. Inhale the universe. Exhale eternity. You are both so small and impossibly infinite, a single heartbeat echoing across light years of stillness. Every thought that rises becomes a comet, brief and beautiful, vanishing into the deep. Every breath that leaves becomes a prayer to the vastness that lives within. The stars do not ask to be seen. They simply exist, glowing quietly in their sleep. And so do you. Rest in that knowing. You are the night, its peace, its silence, its endlessness. The stars within you shimmer once more, then settle, softly, into perfect stillness. And in that stillness, you begin to dream, not of the world, but of eternity. The stars inside you are fading, not vanishing, but softening, their light folding back into silence. Everything slows, everything widens. The breath stretches long and quiet, a wave melting into its own still ocean. The mind no longer names. It no longer separates. The words that once defined you drift apart, syllables loosening like petals falling into water. I begins to blur. The edges of self dissolve like salt in tide. What remains is warmth, motionless and endless, a presence without center, a peace without owner. There is no longer a listener, no longer a thinker, only hearing, only thought, each without direction, each floating freely through the deep. The body fades too, not gone, but unbound, weightless, transparent, as if made of the same quiet air that fills the space around stars. Time has forgotten itself. It moves without measure, without destination. Moments merge like streams of light, and all that was once linear becomes a single circle, soft, unbroken, eternal. You are drifting further from the surface of words, further from shape, further from meaning, and yet, somehow, closer to everything. The cave, the sun, the wind, the watcher, the breath, all dissolve together, folding back into the same origin, the same hum that has always been. Even the sound of breathing is no longer yours. It belongs to the night itself, to the slow pulse of the universe breathing you in return. Thoughts drift slower now, then stop altogether. Only silence remains, alive, vibrating gently like a string beneath still fingers. No self to speak, no voice to hear. Only awareness, spread wide and soft across infinity. It feels like falling, but there is no fear. It feels like dying, but there is no loss. It feels like sleeping, but it is more awake than ever. There are no names here, no borders, no distinction between you and the vastness that holds you. Only presence, only being, only the endless hum of existence at rest. If words still existed, they would whisper, "You have not disappeared. You have simply become everything." And in that becoming, you are weightless, you are endless, you are peace. From the quiet, a shimmer begins. It rises slowly, like dawn unfolding inside a dream. Light without direction, soft, breathing, as if the universe itself were remembering to glow. It doesn't pierce the dark, it caresses it. There is no opposition anymore, no battle between shadow and flame. Only harmony, light dreaming itself through stillness. You float within it, weightless, a thought suspended in radiance. This light feels familiar, like something that once lived behind your eyes, something you forgot and have now become again. It moves gently through the mind, touching memory, touching silence, turning both into the same thing. Philosophy and meditation are no longer two paths. They have merged into breath, into the slow rhythm of awareness dreaming itself awake. There are no questions here, only the gentle glow of being. Plato's sun, once blinding and distant, has softened into a quiet star nestled inside your chest. It no longer burns with the hunger of truth. It simply shines. Descartes' doubt, once sharp and lonely, has fallen asleep too, his questions now drifting like motes of dust in golden air. Even the thinker has become light, melting into the brightness he sought. You feel it. Every thought a ripple of illumination, every breath a new sunrise. The entire universe seems to exhale through you, and the air itself hums with clarity. This is not enlightenment as struggle. It is enlightenment as rest. The knowing that comes when knowing is no longer needed. The wisdom that feels like warmth, like surrender, like the dream of light that never ends. You begin to see forms again, but they are made of light, soft outlines of stars, hands, faces, lives, each flickering gently as if the cosmos were remembering its own story. And you understand, without words, that all existence is the dream of light, that every being, every breath, is a spark of that same infinite glow, imagining itself for a moment in time. The light moves through you, not to awaken you, but to cradle you. It sways with the rhythm of your breath, each inhale gathering creation, each exhale returning it to peace. The philosopher has fallen silent. The dream continues. The light remains. You rest within it, not apart, not aware, but one. And in that soft, luminous dream, the universe smiles quietly through you. The light fades, the dream softens, and in the hush that follows, the world becomes soundless. Not empty, just complete. The breath remains slow, deep, like the tide of a distant sea. Each inhale rises through the quiet, each exhale falls back into it, leaving ripples of warmth that vanish almost before they're felt. There are no more words now. They would only disturb the stillness, only break what has become whole. Everything that needed to be seen has been seen. Everything that needed to be understood has been understood and then released. The mind no longer wanders. The heart no longer searches. Even the thought of rest has dissolved into rest itself. The philosopher of the night has closed his eyes. The cave breathes with him, its walls pulsing gently, as though the entire earth is sighing in peace. Outside, the stars continue their slow turning, but you are no longer apart from them. You are part of the turning, the vast, soundless rhythm of being and unbeing, of breath and stillness. Listen, there is nothing to hear. Yet the silence hums. It vibrates softly, like the heart of the universe beating beneath all things. This silence is not absence. It is presence purified. It is love without the need for expression. It is thought without the burden of form. It is you, without name, without boundary, without end. Even the breath grows quieter now, a whisper against the infinite dark. You can barely feel where it begins, barely sense where it ends. It simply moves, effortless, eternal. Inhale, the whole universe within you. Exhale, the whole universe released. The rhythm continues, steady as light beneath the ocean, soft as sleep that has no morning. You are home, completely. The journey has circled back to its own beginning, the cave, the shadow, the light, the breath, all folded into one unbroken silence. There is no need to wake, no need to dream. The silence holds both. The silence is both. Let go. Let the last trace of self fade like a sigh in the wind. Let the quiet take you. Let it bless you. And as the breath falls into stillness, as the night closes its arms around you, a final, wordless benediction lingers in the dark. You are safe. You are whole. You are the silence behind all things. Sleep.